I'm like having a moment because it's like in the movies, right? Like that moment where everything slows down and then you can see, you can piece it together in your head, like how everybody died. So I think the water's already contaminated. It's just really hard to see it. And I think because I'm here with these harmonics, right, it is like radioactive. Of course, I'm gonna keep pushing my product. But anyway, like everything is scalar, so whatever parasites and stuff, like I'm able to visually see. And even if I couldn't, people could find all sorts of ways to disprove me. But slowly, people will think that they're effectively cleansing their systems. And the other psychic said that she saw this in February. I see it started unfolding. So the combination of the medical community being Nazis with their, right, is that the right way to say, Gestapos with their, no, Nazis, they're being Nazis with the antibiotics, and the fact that there's this new antibiotic that kills everything, but not everybody is given that same antibiotic, just creates a resistance. Because what are the odds that there would be like those few people that didn't finish the full course, right? Or that there was something they didn't know how to look for. But that's what I saw unfolding was everybody gets sick with like water stuff, but it's really hard to piece together quickly enough. And even if they could, because there was no preparation in this country, it bleeds into all the other countries. And the only way to prepare for something like that would have been disclosure. Because then 80 years ago, instead of spending money on the analogy that I gave, like when people are like, we're protecting our airspace from these alien invaders, it's like ants on a hill, right? Saying like, this is our anthill, as they see like a new skyscraper coming through. Like, how does that even make any sense? I look like shit, I know. But I'm about to go to the gym and go clean up and stuff. But I also heard from the tech bros, right? Which sounds so weird, but I am technically a tech bro. Because I was like, oh my god, do I need to start being conservative with all of my cleaning materials and stuff? Because I did get a lot of military grade cleaning materials. And they're like, no, don't worry, like you'll be okay, which is true. And part of my mission is to fix my financial mindset, right? And like in these, and I have everything I need. I really do. Like all the money I have, I put into stocks, Palantir stock, Tesla stock, and XRP. And it did really well in a few months, and it's about to make a lot more. So I need to prioritize as soon as I come back from the gym. Set up the containers. That's what the other rich person called them. She said that they're called containers. So I need to set up a way for people to buy the harmonics. I need to ask that kid that has taken an interest in the stuff I'm doing, like somebody actually recognized it and like pointed it out. It was really cool. If he wants to do the media stuff, and he can pay himself as if and when it becomes lucrative, but that gets tricky because I don't want to get into like a bunch of contracts right now, that, you know, like doesn't matter right now because a lot of people are going to pass away. Wow, that's what I'm hearing. And so even the people that think that they're in safe bunkers and stuff, especially if you're in one of the tunnels underground, right? Like if you're one of these, like, oh, I hate to say it, like one of these bureaucrats that got yourself your space, like you go first because you're the ones closest to the waters. And I did try to tell people, like, don't go in the tunnels that the cartels have been working on, because what do you think they're gonna do? What did you think was gonna happen when you dance with the devil and try to outdo him, you know? Like, what did you think? Even if not on purpose, right? Like oh my god, like the calamity, like in my mind's eye is like insane. And it's hard for me to say it because people will say, well, you're the one creating it because you create things, like, and it's hard for me to say, no, I don't, but I can't stop that. All of that was triggered in the beginning when there were things, and when I did everything right, and these were agreements, and along the way every single obstacle possible was put in my path, because we built it that way to see if to see how functional it would be to go to a sci-fi world. So yes, I did choose the hardest path possible. Like every single moment was supposed to be an obstacle, right? But there was supposed to be like, this is the moment. So this is the moment when there is like that release of the fear of resources. So I get it. I hear you. I heard you. I heard you in my dreams. I hear you right now clearly in my mind's eye. I saw it when I got the job. I will apply for that PayPal job today. I will set up the containers to receive the income today. And nobody can stop what's about to happen. You can, what happens in the middle before everything ends and right now. There's not a lot of time, and I don't think I'm gonna publish this because I don't need that level of attention, but I know that somebody's monitoring my phones, right? So I think this message is just meant for you, and that's, I guess, the next big test, right? I guess the only other next thing I was gonna do was email the CFO at the Monroe Institute, because I heard you. I can tell you how I am processing the DMT experience, which is really disgusting the way we do this. It's really disgusting, but it's what it is. You'll get a new appreciation for the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I guarantee you. Basically, like, I even drew it when there was this, like, it was an implant, it was a box. It was the only time that I decided that I did want to be put in anesthesia mode, because it was so painful, and it was a physical box. In the space I was in, I was at home that time. They didn't take me somewhere else. They just, the Grays put me on a table, and then they put this box in my back, and I could tell, and I've always known it was there. And then when I sleep facing up, and I put like a I don't know, like a 3/4 wide, or like circumference, like a, so like a yoga ball. I put a yoga ball or something on my back, like even a rolled up towel or something, right on that spot, so it feels like I'm pushing a button. And there's like, when I took all of the antibiotics, that time that I got that dental infection, it actually cleared out the feeling of being like hunchbacked, right? Which is fine, but all of the disgusting, like, what is it called? Like fungal infection stuff. So not the microbial, but the fungal. What I do is I release my own self-made DMT into my bloodstream while I'm sleeping, and that's how I manipulate so well in my dreams. But I also did not do that growing up. I didn't mess with all that. I didn't touch any of that stuff till I was like 20 or 21 in Seattle, and then only then for like a couple of years, like, I mean, all out, you know, without really knowing it. I just ran into people from my high school who were and that's how I learned how to DJ. But that's where I really got to know Luna, who is not in my circle. Self-selection. None of them are. Nobody from, well, my friend Roger, he's in my circle for sure. Roger Gonzalez. That's what you do between now and then. You make sure that you're clear on who's in your circle, and like you hold them in your consciousness if you're the template. Because right now, like, some of my circle are cardboard cutouts, and I know that. My father doesn't even have, like, the rest of us were able to. I have video of it, right? That he's already a template and that he's been my cardboard cutout. So I kept. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I made sure that the doctors gave him the right stuff exactly, precisely, so that his heart would keep beating and his blood would keep pumping. His brain's a little bit gone sometimes, but that's not as big of a deal because I'm holding his consciousness. And I have a video where I extracted all of the information about the electrical stuff from him. And I was asking him questions, but I was also like digging through his brain, because I think I did record. I asked him, like, is it okay if I get this from you? And I don't know to what degree my family knows what I'm saying, but they know, like, that's why it's a family thing. It's a circle of people. That's why these contracts are written by these circles, because there's just like a knowingness. And there's the other video where I have like my whole family intergenerationally is gifted and talented program people, but on paper, like legitimate, provable, the ones that actually got to go to school, like on paper, every single one. We've all been GT. That's what you do. You get clear on who is in your circle. you make sure that you're strong enough to hold their consciousness, because some of them will have to be the cardboard cutouts, and they're waiting for you on the other side of my telephone so that they can come back in. But in the meantime, like, the first trial run, I lost track of my finances, like, but I didn't lose my real estate, right? Like, that's what I make sure I keep, even if it's hanging by a thread, which is how I have it right now. And then work within the systems. And then where I messed up yesterday was that I am already like in sci-fi world, right? I can't deny it. Like, I've taken pictures of the outside of my house where literally my perimeter has amazing grass that nobody else does. And I live in the desert, and just like the way I made a bunch of money doing nothing, and I make more money doing nothing than doing something, right? Like, there's all these indicators, and my dog's still alive, and like, look at she's like on the floor with her, she chewed off her foot and she's still alive. And I'm already in sci-fi world. So I have this telephone here that needs to work, but my soul's mission is to keep my dog alive. So the next thing I need to do is that my mission should be, I'm trying to build this telephone so I can talk to my dead dog, Raptor. So that, because Raptor's her literal blood sister from the same sire. Because then we can see what Raptor says about Nishi's blood. I collected like a tiny sample here. It's disgusting, right? But I'm not about to go draining. You know who kept the blood? The people at the veterinary in Mexico. I don't know if they kept the blood, but they took some labs. And I told them what was going on. I don't know how seriously they took it, but that's what I do next, is I focus on that. Because yeah, I do need ways to analyze blood, but not with the things that everybody uses. Like, yes, the things everybody uses, but not the way they do it, because likely it's much less complicated than that. Because remember, this is like right now we're surviving an apocalypse. That means everything gets wiped. So you do have to rely back on the information from the ancestors. That's why this apocalypse is different from the other ones, right? Like, that's why I'm emergent, because in this form, because I had to be able to remember all the stuff that wasn't necessary. So when people try to talk about it's aliens versus interdimensionals versus demons, whatever, like, all of it applies, because you need all of it to survive an apocalypse. And like, when it's one of these bigger cycles, and it's bigger than 75,000 years, I just haven't had the opportunity to sit and like calculate to which degree. But what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go outside and show you like the legit difference in my house and the neighbors' houses, right? So I'm outside right now. Maybe I will post this video. Okay, look, I preceded this last summer, but all of them had died, and there has been like weed killer, but it didn't kill even my flowers. Look, those are actually, like, I purposefully picked those, and I just bought more. And I'm not out here like toiling in the sun, you know, gardening, pulling weeds. But look at everybody else's houses. I don't know if you can see them clearly. I'm in the desert. Like, it's so hot out here, but for me, I'm getting flowers that would require some kind of water. So it's been raining. I didn't die in a flood. None of my circles died in the flood. Right? And so in the next few months, you'll see, because I'll keep playing my harmonics, you'll see like these will have grown like so beautifully, right? But look at the neighbors. I hope you can see. I hope I'm capturing it. Look at the neighbors. It's all desert. That's why everybody has rocks. I even show you. And everybody that has like these really well maintenance lawns, like, they put a lot of work in it. And my neighbor to my right, Nancy, like, she pays a lot of money for someone to come to cut her lawn. If you like grass, it's lush. What else? And I have a ton of pictures of the sky. I'm not gonna send you my financials. I made like $8,000 in 3 months, and I only need like, if I was like paying everything on time and stuff, I would say like right now like $12K a month was very comfortable. And I don't tend to blow my money. I save it up for like these months, right? So I had like, I don't know, like 5,000 in savings that carried me through 3 months, and then I had to spend like almost $2,000 of that on my dog. So then that cut into my keeping up with my mortgages anyway, and they were reporting me late anyway. But then they were so kind. That's what I was talking about, was my dog and the mortgages and what I'm doing. And so then yesterday, she wasn't able to get her gabapentin because there was a mistake on the Walmart app, and it was partly my fault, and partly theirs. And I got mad, and they were so willing to work to do their best because they were about to close, because I needed to sleep. So I didn't realize that when they dropped off the delivery, it didn't include my dog's medicine, and I was so mad. And my dog doesn't need that much medicine. She's not even crying. Like, I'm over medicating her because it was easier, and it's actually not even making her fall asleep. So I'm gonna get that gabapentin, but that's like a self-realization. Like assume that all of the cardboard cutouts are people that like are already like there, because that's the way it's been. So I have to like remember that. And then if you don't believe me, like look at my house is a mess. It's a mess. That's why I can't do the eating disorder thing, because I'm like making sure that I know exactly where every tiny piece of things are, because the supply chains are starting to show the anomalies of like they're just not keeping up, like they're falling apart. So for a while, it's not gonna be forever, but I'm making sure that I have everything I need, so that as people start to get sick, it doesn't permeate my life. So I can keep my circle alive, even if I'm just keeping the organic part alive, right? So like my dad is still my dad, but he is like, he's one of my Muppets. He's probably like my favorite Muppet. Not my favorite, there's no favorite. He's like my first Muppet, right? Like my first in line Muppet. And what does that mean? It means that like usually there's walk-ins, right? So you can think of it like that, like because I'm a template in my family, right? Like, instead of letting his organic being die, I stepped in. I couldn't ask my shaman mom, Nancy. I came to El Paso, like, from one day to the next. I dropped everything, and everything was in order anyway for me to be able to. And I came and I made sure that he got the right help. He didn't have COVID. He had a heart condition, and he got a defibrillator and pacemaker. And he's still alive organically, but he is, like, technically a walk-in. But I made sure he was one instead of, like, letting the organic die. And I have a video where he's the only one that doesn't show that he's able to complete a circuit when I touch the circuit thing with him, and I don't have other people to test with. But that's a whole other video. That's like, I mean, in my opinion, like, scientist or not, it's so fascinating, what happened that day. Like, even to me, it's like, wow, like, this is how we got the diddler's stuff to clear, which sounds crazy. I don't agree with anything he did at all. But I didn't sign up for that soul contract. But he's just basically like this lifetime's Hitler. Or this last effort's Hitler. And most people failed epically, just saying, right? Like, most people did not realize it's not about the diddler, it's about every single individual that did what they did so he could do what he did. Same with Hitler. I hope people someday, like, that registers. I'm not defending Hitler or the diddler. I'm saying, like, they both fulfilled their contract. And Kanye West saw that. And why am I mentioning these famous people? Well, because who else am I going to talk about that people would know? Okay, I got to tend to this dog because she sees me on my phone and she's screaming.